Okay, this this is my third map that I've created. This is a 2v2, so I made it a bit bigger. It's based around, if you guys have played League of Legends, it's kind of the map design that I was going for. In League of Legends, there's 3 lanes, and in this same thing, I made a pirate-esque map that has 3 lanes. So the 3 lanes are, left, right, middle, and essentially I wanted to make it so that the middle lane has that high ground advantage that I had in my very first map. But not only does it have high ground advantage, it also has kind of view of everything. There's no real, aside from the props, right? The gold bat thing right here, the cannon, and then some crates here. Aside from those, there's not really much, and of course, going underneath, there's not much cover from here. So I deliberately added, and I'll show you in the Fortnite creative thing what these rails do, but I deliberately added these rails to make it so that even if you do have the middle, which is pretty easy to get to, even if you do have the middle, it's not like I get to the middle, I win, right? Because there's not much cover when it comes for people going in any other lane, I needed to add these rails to make it so that if you make it to the middle, you don't automatically win. So essentially, this is also another circular map, so everything connects to each other. You can go right side or left side, and it'll all lead into a circle. The middle lane, just like in League of Legends, it has a huge, it can affect every other lane like super easily, as opposed to, let's say you go to the left lane, you don't have an effect on the right lane, and vice versa. If you go to the right lane, you don't really have an effect on the left lane. So for the highest, I guess, risk and reward, you want to go to the middle and fight for the middle so that you have effect over, the whole entire map, as opposed to, let's say you go over here. See, as you can see, the field of view. If you're standing right here, you can't really see the other side, and you're kind of missing the middle area. So if I can, I'll hop over to the creative to. So this is what the players are facing with. The natural cover that I was talking about, as you can see, it's not covering the whole entire person. And let's say you do get high ground up here, you do have a field of view on whoever's behind this cover. So the high ground is it's pretty good, but again, these rails are really important. So let's say I get a gun, anything will do. Maybe just an AR is fine. Cool. So let's see. So anyways, like I was saying about the rail's pretty important to this map because it allows the person on top to get a view of like people on bottom behind these boxes. It also allows players to kind of use that high ground as natural cover, right, to get to that. But it also allows for players who don't have high ground to be able to see the top quite easily, right? So you can see that player, but you can't see the player back here. Again, that's that natural cover, kind of getting away from that side of view. So high ground does have that advantage, but this rail makes it so that players can't really, or players in the middle are kind of blocked with a massive like control over high ground, if that makes sense. So you can't shoot from wherever you want. You kind of have to navigate through the rails or over the rails, so you don't have a super duper like 100% field of vision of the whole entire map. And the map is very much like the first map I've created. If I can grab an impulse grenade, I can show you. That's an impulse. Cool. Yeah, so the idea of this map is to essentially, you can fight for middle ground by using the impulse grenade and then hopping up to the top. I missed it there, but yeah, you get the gist of it. Yeah, so then so this is the overview of the map, and to break it down to levels again, we have the base level, we have number 3, and then up here we have number 2. So number two has prio over, uh, actually, yeah, and this would be number one, I guess. So number two has prio over number zero, right? These are ramps that go up to number two, but these players can, like I said before, they can kind of navigate up and back this. They have cover here, here, up and back this to kind of change their like opponent's field of view on them. So that's natural cover due to verticality. Number three, of course, is the middle. That's what we're fighting for. That has the most verticality and the most cover. So that would be the safest, but the most contested. And when it comes to how do you get to number three, essentially you have one path, two paths through the middle, and then you have ladders that go through the sides. So it's highly contested. It's not like if you get number three, you can just hold it like a base. In addition, you have cover here, 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 here. You have cover all around the map, so even if someone does get a spot right here, players can hide behind this cannon or players can hide behind these boxes. Even though they're not like 100% covered, they still can cover half their body, much like players up here can cover half their body by moving back and forth, right? So you don't have ultimate cover even if you don't have ultimate cover if you're on the bottom, right? Just how you don't have ultimate cover when you're on the top, right? Because when you're right here, players can still see your head. When you're behind this box, players can still see your head. So I guess you're kind of trading off that huge impact on the map from North 3 for being able to be seen by everyone, if that makes sense. So if you're in position number three or verticality number three, you have effect over the whole entire map, but at the same time, the whole entire map has effect over you. So it's again high risk, high reward, as opposed to number two. Let's say you're at number two, you have impact of layers one, but not of the other side of level two. You don't have, I would say if you're right here, your field of view is kind of like this and like this. So you don't have impact right here. You're lacking impact right here due to natural cover here. You're lacking impact here, here, here. And of course, you're lacking impact on the back side of number three. That was a lot that I just put down. But yes, but if you're in position number three, you can have impact on the whole entire map depending on where you want to position up there. The only position where you wouldn't really have impact is underneath number three, but the water here is much like the water in my second map, where it's a fan, so it's really hard to just stay in one place in the water. You know, it's not really a swimming mechanic. But yeah, so like I said before, this is a circular map. So if you go down here, you can loop around. You go down here. Oops, sorry. Go down here, you can loop around, right? So it's very open map. Um, let's talk about field of view. Field of view from here, you have field of view here, 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 here. So very flowy, lots of field of views. Of course, number three, you have 360. Right, field of view here. I made sure not to kind of block out any field of views. So it's just you have field of view literally everywhere from anywhere. So except for, of course, from two to two. Right, that's what I'm saying. So if you're in one lane, then you don't have effect over another lane. That's literally the only field of view that is missing. And I think it's missing for a good cause, right? So because that is missing, that will encourage players to instead take over number three. Cool.